Let's check this dirty ass trash room. Can't even take your trash out without coming in contact with a bunch of cockroaches. Then they have the nerve to have a 2-inch, 1 inch gap, 1 1/4 inch gap under our door. So they can just walk right in. Okay, put a wet towel down to keep them out. Or put one of those foam things. This is why you have drama. Because they do not maintain. Watch out, little baby cat. This here is the unit, air conditioning unit. Right there, it freezes. I have a video of that on YouTube already. If you leave the cover on, it freezes. I've told them about the issue. I reported them about the issue. They said that they couldn't, what is it, HPD said, I can't do anything about the heat not working, because I'm like, I want to make sure the heat is working when they bring me this unit. If it's not working, I call them and I report them. Oh, we can't do anything about the heat until winter time. So until I'm freezing, I can't, until the date and I'm freezing, I can't call them up and complain about the heat not working. The air conditioner, it wasn't working either. I had to put it, when you put it on cool, it wasn't working. So E4 error. I have to keep unplugging it and plugging it back in. That's why the front is not on there. All they're doing when they report me for things is proving that they haven't been maintaining this for 12 years. I have reported them numerous times, and every single time, nothing gets fixed. They bring me a new unit. It doesn't even have a filter on it. It doesn't have a filter in there, nor does it have the other filter that's supposed to be on this bottom part right here. But she wants to give me a laundry list of complaints against me when I'm the one who's reporting her first, and this is targeting. She's been doing this. This is not the first time she tried to have me evicted, but it's hopefully going to be the last time, because I'm tired of this. And I've been wanting to move out of here already, so it's not that I have an issue with moving. I have an issue with moving when you're sitting there not maintaining your property. You're charging me for a 1-bedroom when I'm in a studio just because I get a 1-bedroom voucher. But you made a way to cover that up. Nobody's investigating you for that financial crime. But somehow you always have my name in your mouth and dragging me through this court. How much can a person take? And then you're calling, nobody calls for welfare checks. Or what, people don't go for welfare checks unless they call you and they call them and say that you need a welfare check. Nobody's calling but them. So the same people who created all this problem in here in the first place are the same people, and who were abusive to the tenants, talking all this nonsense to a person who my neighbors wanted to be the tenant association president, but they were refusing to allow us to congregate so that we could form one. These same people who I reported, who discriminated against me and my service dog from day one, and discriminated against me from allowing me to get in a 1-bedroom in the first place when I have all these medical supplies that I'm supposed to be having. Somehow they expect me to just have it stacked up in my apartment in this little studio. All that stuff has happened, and they've been reported. All these administrations have dropped the ball on this woman and allowed her to be this ridiculous for this long. Now you have her doing defamation of character in the court, perjuring herself, making false police reports, and somehow you want to be dragging me and making it seem like I'm this problem that you have. I'm not this problem that you have. You're the one targeting me, and I'm reacting to it. It's called reactive abuse. And get yourself up to date on that, because you clearly are unaware of what you've been doing, or trying to make it seem like you're unaware of what you've been doing, or trying to get away with what you've been doing. Whatever the case may be, that's what she's been doing. And I've been going through this, and all these agencies that I've reported her to, nothing has gotten done. Nothing. They give her more money so she can develop another building. 2 buildings she's developed since this building with our money, by promising amenities that were never created, like rooftop garden, never created. Okay, there's just flower beds sitting up there. We can't even go up there because some geniuses didn't take into consideration that they have elderly and people with disabilities, people with mental illness living in the building, and they didn't think to put like plexiglass up there. No, instead of them doing their job properly, all they're doing is removing the amenity from us and then saying, well, why would we let you up there so you could throw yourself off the side of the building? Shit like that, they're saying to the tenants, threatening us to call the police. All the threats that she made, that we have her on camera threatening to have the police called on us for loitering in the front of our building when all we're doing is standing there catching air, sitting on their little walkers, standing out there congregating, talking. All the threats that she made, she followed through on those threats. She followed them through on those threats with me by calling the police, having her security call the police on me. That's why I just won a false arrest case. That was one of the reasonings. I got arrested right in the front of my building, just like she was claiming she was gonna get done to us. She had it done to us. Then she wants to sit there and say SWAT was busting in my door. That was EMS responding to her calling for a welfare check while I'm cooking dinner, listening to music, and having a drink in the privacy of my own dwelling. Then she keeps saying that they keep talking about, oh, you had a knife and this and that. I have my cell phone in my hand. I'm training my service dog like I'm allowed to. When every time they have come to get me, they separate me, which is against my ADA rights, separate me from my service dog. And now the service dog has to be retrained every single time that they put trauma on her and put her in the shelter, because they take her to the shelter. They let the police come in here, take the dog. They're not even supposed to be doing that. That's not even legal. They have no crime committed, nothing committed. Nobody witnessed me doing anything. But yet they feel that they have the ability to just break in your fucking door while they're doing a welfare check, mind you. If I'm coherent talking to you and I'm cooking dinner, you smell food coming out this door, you, just because you hear music, is not you don't have the right to just kick in somebody's door. I was on the phone with my attorney at that time as well, and they just busted in the door, broke up the whole front door, tore it up to get me off of hearsay at that. That cannot continue. That cannot be continued. You cannot be a tyrant, tyrannical landlord, a slumlord, and then have the audacity to turn around and try to paint your tenants as fucking terrorists when you're the terrorist. You better get stop following Donald Trump, because you guys are Trump thumpers. Y'all are making the problems and then sitting there acting like you're the solution to the problem, or that you didn't do anything. Your hands are clean. While you're driving people crazy, you made a neighbor suicidal. You've had so many deaths in this building until I started advocating. We had deaths in this building. Every week we had somebody dying because they were so stressed out from the abuse that they were getting. She's an abuser herself, and she hires tyrant ass abusers. Okay? Historically. 12 years. I have a whole filing cabinet worth of documentation of all of the letters that they sent, threatening letters that they sent here, trying to scare people and make them feel like they're going to get evicted, trying to scare them to make them feel like they're going to call the cops. She's been doing this. And because I'm the advocate that everybody goes to and tells their business to, so that I can help alleviate their frustration, I defend them and I get targeted. And they did exactly what they said they were going to do. Calling the police on me regularly as a police officer with credentials, an ordained minister on top of that. Somehow you're trying to defame my character. I've been living this life 40 years. If I was that bad, I would have been already in the jail with charges on me. I would have been in the prison already. Okay? And that's not happening. If no crime is committed, you can't just make up your own rules and treat people like you're in a college dorm. And they even gave us floor captains, like we're in a college dorm. But somehow this project was supposed to be including us into general society so that we can have independent living. This is not independent living when you have people over top of you like we're in a concentration camp. This is not a concentration camp. And these Jews, I'm telling you, they're turned into Nazis. They turned into Nazis because they're running shit like this in America. I'm not surprised that they're running shit like that in Gaza, because this is how they're running shit in America. This is how they treat people. They're so desensitized to the results of their own behavior that they became an attorney so that they could be in real estate, be a property manager, and abuse the people and get away with it. This is how they doing it. They're top. You got Cohen's. top defense lawyer of the hospital right across the street that they keep dragging me to, when that's not my hospital. Lenox Hill is my hospital. I'm supposed to be able to get taken to Lenox Hill. They're violated. They're doing racketeering. Anytime the EMS is refusing to take me to my hospital when it's less than 2 miles, it's within my rights to go to my own hospital. But you drag me across the street to the hospital across the street. You're doing racketeering. Everybody's getting a cut on this money. And then you're dragging a person. I'm the wrong person to drag down, because my history is not going to be, my history is not like a lot of these people that you have running around these places. You want to make that my history. That's not my history. And maybe before you target somebody, you should actually do your research on them, because you don't know what you're getting yourself into. And I'm not playing. Just because you keep me distracted and just because we have all this other stuff going on does not mean I'm not seeking legal action against this woman. Because it's been 12 years I've been going through this abuse, and I'm not going to continue to go through it. They can drag my health care, all my health records, all that stuff that they've been doing to me. They can drag all that stuff to the court if they want to. But at the end of the day, I know who I am. I know what I've been going through. I know I went to cognitive behavioral therapy for my PTSD and my anxiety. The rest of the stuff that they're talking about up in here is ridiculous. And that shit is going to get them a defamation lawsuit. And that's what they need. And when I go, because I'm sure I was supposed to be out November 3rd, from what they claim. They didn't even give me 30 days to move out. Okay, this is how shiesty. You're supposed to have 30 days. They're going to tell you, oh, by November 3rd, so that way, after November 3rd, they can drag you to the court with that whole stack of complaints that's been going on this whole time. I've been going through all that stuff this whole time, been acting like this whole time, but somehow no crime was ever committed. You don't have no audio on your security cameras, so you don't even know what you're seeing when you're looking at camera. You have no idea. You don't even send security up there. The security just sits there, and then they call the EMS. That is racketeering. Everybody's getting paid. Nobody's doing their job properly, and the people are getting abused. And thankfully, we got somebody like Mom Donnie coming in here that is going to have to regulate this, because this is ridiculous. This shit is a mess. She should be dragged through the media. Nobody in media wants to take it. That is organized crime. You know too many people to the point where you can't even get we can't even get our stories out because you have them so influenced like that. Absolutely not. We don't want to put up with this. People don't want to put up with this, but then you keep them stuck. And then you want to make it seem like people want to be stuck on the system. If they weren't blackballing and blacklisting people for whistleblowing and doing what they were supposed to, why is the government even able to be operational? You should be shut down, because your asses have been, when you're open, you're not doing nothing for us. You're doing for these landlords and these property management companies, and you're doing for Israel. And don't get me wrong, even though I go to North Shore Hospital, they're still more competent in this city than any other hospital. And I'm a person with a complex physical medical conditions, so I have to go to a place where they actually know what they're freaking doing. But instead of being able to go there, they're dragging me to New York City Hospital, where they don't give a shit about your patient rights. They don't give a shit about your constitutional rights. They don't care about none of that. And they purge themselves and lie in the court that's in their own hospital. No evidence. You're getting judged. That's not due process. So I don't know who came up with that. And then you have Jews as your defense. The thing is this, we see it, but nobody wants to say anything unless they get called as anti-Semite. Okay, meanwhile, we're Semites our own dang self, but yet somehow we're anti-Semite because we're observing the behavior that's happening to us and the things that are happening to us systemically, and you don't want to fix those problems because now everybody's going to be losing out on money. You should be losing out on money. You are ridiculous enough to go into bed with private industry knowing that they do shit like this, and then you have no checks and balances. You have no accountability. You're negligent now. The federal government's negligent now, because she was already reported to the DOJ already. I was the first person to report her because she was the first person that was doing this nonsense. They were the first people to do this nonsense of discrimination and refusing to rent me a 1-bedroom unit. And trying to tell me to lift up my service dog and carry it through the hallway like I don't have 4 back surgeries. Like, I gave them the ADA website. They clearly didn't read it. They already know what the laws are. They do what they want to do. She gets her corrupt ass lawyers to sit there and they're committing the crimes themselves with her. They're the ones sending the documentation. Bora and Goldstein or some shit like that, they're shady as hell. And I look at Google Maps on any properties that they have, every single property that they manage, they have bad reviews on the internet, right on Google Maps. But yet our government gave them money so that they can keep developing. Gave her mother money so that she could keep developing. She knows how her daughter is, and she knows how the employees that her daughter hire are. They're ghetto as hell, and they're fucking trying to fight with. They would literally try to fight you, but then have the nerve to sit there. I have one of them try to fight me for standing up for the neighbors and telling them why you're yelling at people for congregating in the lobby where our chairs are there for us to congregate. No, you guys go up to your apartments. We're not children. Just because I look young does not mean I'm 40 years old. I don't know who the hell these people are talking to. I don't know who they're talking to. They got their shit fucked up, is what they got. And I'm going to keep posting that online. If you want to drag me through the court and drag my name through the court like this, I'm going to drag your ass through the court of public opinion and keep posting about your trifling ass. Because every single time I turn around, this is what I got to deal with you. Stephanie Knepper is trash, and your brother is a pill head. Okay, trying to get pills off of me, breaking my HIPAA rights, going into my file. How do you know that I'm on pain medication? Why are you calling me on Easter Sunday asking me for pills for your friend who got hit by a car? James Knepper is a pill popper, and he is shiesty. And if he ain't a pill popper, they were trying to use him to set me up, like if I was selling drugs when I don't do that. You still broke my HIPAA rights doing it either way. This is why you should not have access to people's financial information. None of you break your fiduciary responsibilities. You break your trust all the time. And you should not have no responsibilities over anybody. You don't even have responsibility over yourself. But they'll say that about me. The same thing I'm saying. They'll say that about me. Because I'm sitting here calling it out. It's gaslighting 101. I'm tired of it. I'm done with these people already. I need people to like, share, and subscribe. Post this shit because they don't not want this message getting out. They don't want it getting out. It's been 12 years. They don't want that out. Every time I post about it, nobody's sharing it. They would rather see me suffer. This is the type of people we're talking about. These are family and friends that we're talking about. They'll hear it and they'll be like, oh yeah, this is going through that. And they'll like, but then when I'm trying to solve the problem, they're not sharing. They're not subscribing. They're not posting. They're not reposting. They know people in office. They know people in the government. They know, and they let that shit continue and watch me suffer and then sit there in their mediocre ass lives and whatever the fuck they're doing in their lives and continue on with their lives like it's nothing. It's called sacrifice, the scapegoat of the family, black sheep of the family nonsense. It's nothing, anything, all of this is the same. It's been like this. And then they have the audacity. At least now they don't fake say happy birthday to me anymore. At least they don't do that. The only person that sends me a birthday card, my grandma, my abuelita. Okay? That's the only birthday cards we get. We have to, and then they have the nerve to complain about how we are celebrating our holidays or our days that we are living in this fucked up ass world. The nerve that they have. They should keep their mouth shut and stop with the bullshit. Stop with that fake nicety shit. Throw that shit out because you don't give a fuck. When I was falsely arrested, none of y'all was over here trying to bail my ass out. None of y'all was doing that. You left me right in that damn jail while I'm sitting here every day busting my fucking ass on this social media, posting for your fucking freedom when you should take your ass and get locked the fuck on up. Should go get your ass locked the fuck on up because you don't mind me getting locked up. Go get locked up because there's plenty of shit you could get locked up for too. My issue is I don't commit crimes. So when I do get arrested, at least I get to win a fucking case. At least now I'm traumatized enough that when they do this, I can get myself together, come right up out of there and call the attorney to send their asses the fucking lawsuit that they need to be paying. At least I could do that. The first time I was false arrested, I was so traumatized. I did not have the mental capacity to be going and taking nobody to court. And that statute of limitations of 2 years statute of limitations for when you get falsely arrested, throw that shit out. Everybody wants these, nobody wants no term limits. But then you want a statute of limitation for us. You want to tell us how long it should be for us to heal before we can fucking sue you. Before the time is up for us to sue you. That's bullshit. Trash. That should be done away with. If we don't have if we have a statute of we threw out the statute of limitations for plenty of different things, but yet we're not throwing out the statute of limitations for these corrupt ass officers and these people abusing their authority to get their asses fucking sued after we heal from the trauma that they cause us and the business finances that's a $30,000 dog that they're ruining. A $30,000 dog. They spayed the dog at the shelter too. So now the shelter has to get sued too. Because they didn't even get any kind of approval from me. That dog is, they already knew the dog was exempt and knew the dog was a service dog the first time they tried that bullshit and didn't want to release the dog to me because they wanted to spay her before releasing her. I said she is exempt and you will get sued if you fucking don't release my dog. If I tell you that, you should already automatically know that if you spay that dog, I'm going to sue that ass. You should be ready and knowing that that's what's coming to you. Anyway, people, keep your heads up because this shit is crazy. It's crazy. I'm trying to focus on the macro issues, but I have my own micro stuff that I have going on as well, and I try to deal with them as much. So don't complain when you're in the inbox. Why you don't talk to me? Busy. Focus on the things that I want you to focus on, not me. Don't focus on me and trying to get close to me. Okay, I'm very busy and you don't want to get close to me. People get close to me, they start disappearing and shit. Don't do that. Do a public service. Do a service to the public and bring your ass over here and share and like and subscribe. Do that. Because I'm just ignoring y'all. I'm too damn busy. Too busy. Anyway, for those who do contribute, I appreciate you. Trust and believe, because it's been a long time coming to get myself together with this social media, because I've been on there almost 2 decades messing around and still they're slowing me down. So I don't, while I like to see everybody flourish, it's nice to see myself flourish while I'm doing what I'm doing, because at that point, that's why I just repost other people's stuff, because I don't even want to post my own stuff, because you don't give me any motivation to be posting anything for you. Mostly now I'm just posting it for myself, because at this point, a bunch of you voted against me, voted for my life to be more difficult than your life because you're trash. And you know you're trash. You have to live with the fact that you're trash now too. And stop faking nice. Let's stop doing that. Don't ask me to go to no family reunions. Don't be asking me to go nowhere. Throw that shit out. Throw that out.